Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today what I thought we'd do is have a rather nice look at the Graphical Midi Tools plugin available for Sibelius from the brilliant developer Santiago Barx. Now if you're a Sibelius user, you might have been eyeing Steinberg's wonderful Dorico with rather envious eyes, because that's got an ability to automate everything the sample player has to offer as easily as your favourite DAW like Cubase or Logic, for example. However, you've been able to automate stuff in Sibelius for a considerable amount of time with a plugin called the Graphical Midi Tools plugin. I've been using this plugin since its original version 1, and I have to say I absolutely love it. But today we're going to be checking out the latest version 2025.3.2. Right, full disclosure, I've been a beta tester for the Graphical Midi Tools plugin for a long time now. However, I own the license. I've bought it. I love the software that much. I've bought it. I bought the Graphical Midi Tools plugin. I own all the software. Everything you're looking at today, none of it is a demo license. I'm not paid for these videos. I do it for the love of it. All right, so now we've got that out of the way. Let's check out what we can do in Sibelius with this rather handy plugin. Right, then let's get stuck in. On the left here, we've got a little score that I've put some notes in, and on the right hand side, we've got our sample player. I'm going to be using Vienna Symphonic Library's rather lovely synchronized special editions. I'm using the first violins from the orchestral library for this one. And what I'm going to do is automate the controls of the sample player using the Graphical Midi Tools plugin. Now, all I've done is pop some notes into our score here, but I'm going to put some dynamics in, so I'll go and do that now. Right, do something like this maybe, and put a hairpin in. Right, now at the moment, when I play this back, the articulations will change as it hits articulation markings in the score, and the dynamics will change because currently everything's working with the sound set that VSL supply when you buy into their software. Once you set it up, it works as expected. It works just like this. Now, if anybody out there wants to know how to set it up, if you want to use Sibelius and VSL, but you don't know how, drop a comment below and I'll get that sorted out. I'll do a video for you. All right. But I'm just going to play this back and you'll see how the velocity crossfade operates to change the volume of the notes played back. Okay, so up until a while ago, this is about as good as you could get back in Sibelius. It was possible to put hidden lines in with hidden MIDI information in, but it was more hassle than it was worth. Then Santiago developed his plugin. I've been using it now since version 1, and it's come a long way since then. If I just rewind it to the beginning, if I highlight this very first bar here, and I'm going to open the plugin, and you'll see it's opened with notes showing in a piano roll editor that are corresponding to the first bar here. But I can add more bars to the view by just clicking on the arrow there, and now it's selected all of those bars, or if I wanted to shut it down, I can open it across everything at the same time if I wanted. Right, let's just change the view a little bit so it's clearer to see. Now it's showing you all the notes that are available to tweak in the selected range. At the top, I have some tabs. Currently, I have expression, volume, pan, and pitch bend I can automate. So I'm just going to select the expression tab here with a left click. And then when I go down into that lane, you'll see that the cursor changes from a cross to a pencil. Now, if I hold the left mouse button down, I can draw in a curve. Something like that. Now when I play this back, you'll see that the expression slider will change. So I just rewind it to the beginning. Okay, you can automate it as easily as that. Now let's say you don't want to, you don't like what you've written in there delete it, if you hold the right mouse button down, you just delete everything. Boom, that's all gone. And let's put something else in. There we are. I put a little ramp in. If you hold the shift down, you can do all of that as well. So now it should follow more likely the volume. So let's hear what that plays back. And I'm going to play it back now with the play head in the plugin. Okay, it's as simple as that. But let's say you want to automate something else. Let's say you wanted to automate humanization, for example, that the sample player has. Okay, how do you do that? Well, currently, if you pop down to the configuration tab at the bottom right here, if I click that, you'll see that you've got some options. Now, I've already taken the time to set the MIDI CC controllers up. I've added MIDI CC 25, 26 and 27, which correspond to these controls here, which the delay, the tuning and the amount of humanization. I've given them a color and I've given them a little name. All right, now I'm going to select the boxes I want. Actually, make this a bit clearer. I'm going to turn off the boxes that I don't want to use and I'm going to save my preference. Okay, and they've appeared at the top there. Now, one little trick that I want to show you is if you select your new tab that you've just installed, if you haven't shut the plugin down, sometimes the automation bar at the bottom doesn't catch it. So for best practice, once you've changed anything in the configuration, shut the plugin down again and open it up. Now it will bring in all that new data, and now if I want to, I can change the delay. So let's just draw in something here. I'm going to change the tuning and I'm going to do the amount. Something really stupid like that. Now I'm going to play this back and you'll see all three of these controls will just work. Okay, so straight away we've now got 4 MIDI CC numbers being automated and velocity crossfade, which has been driven from the sound set. Now, at the moment, with the full version of the plugin, you can add 12 MIDI CC numbers in the configuration screen to add. And once you've done that, you can automate almost everything. I know the Synchron player has a lot, but honestly, I can't remember the last time I used more than 6. So there's plenty of headroom for you to automate stuff. Right, so once you've spent a moment setting the configuration tabs up how you like them, you'll quickly discover that automating in Sibelius now is as simple as Dorico and maybe Logic and Cubase, and it's a lot of fun. The ability to just change what you've written and then change something else, as simple as that, it's really, really handy. To be able to do that quickly in Sibelius before this plugin was impossible. Yeah, you could have used hidden MIDI CC data and hidden lines and all sorts of stuff, but it was so much hassle, it just wasn't worth it. But now, my word, it most certainly is. The other thing that I want to show you before I end this video is it can now automate tempo. Now at the moment I haven't put any tempo markings in, so why don't we just do something rather silly and draw in a tempo curve just like that, and let's see how that plays. Now obviously that's a really extreme way to do things, but it demonstrates, I think, quite nicely how easy it is to automate tempo and the sample player's controls as easily as you can do in Dorico. Now, I'll be back in future videos going through ghost notes, velocity, how to change position of notes, all sorts of stuff, because you can really deeply edit your music now. But to save this video from being 2 months long, I'm going to call it a day for this one. So If you want to know how to set VSO and Sibelius up, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. And if you've liked the content so far, please do consider subscribing and hitting that like button and all the usual stuff. And hopefully I'll see you again soon for the next one.